So I've been off caffeine, like daily caffeine, for probably almost a year and a half right now. And I wrote a book on the subject, and I have a lot of credibility. And the reason I'm telling you this is because when I first started drinking caffeine, or quitting caffeine, I was the opposite. I was constantly looking on YouTube, caffeine withdrawal timelines, how do I prevent caffeine withdrawal, how do I make this end, blah, 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 and all this shit. And I realized through quitting longer term and doing a fuck ton of research that caffeine withdrawal actually isn't the issue. Now, before I get into that, let me explain first what most people do. Okay? They quit, they look up how to get rid of withdrawal, they slowly reduce their caffeine intake. They do all these things, and then they start to get headaches, they start to get tired, and they're basically waiting for a day. They're waiting for a day when everything will be okay. They're waiting for that time in the future. They're saying, well, I'm going through caffeine withdrawal right now, so my life's gonna kind of suck. They kind of have that in their head. So whatever, they kind of realize, like, to some degree, they're basically telling themselves that they can't be happy now. Their happiness lies in the future. I was guilty of this. I've honestly was guilty of this for a long time, and kind of until somewhat recently. And I realized, whether it be through quitting caffeine, quitting alcohol, or even taking a break from things, I don't think like a hot chocolate every now and then is going to kill you. Or like a beer every now and then, but that's just my opinion. If you're addicted and you can't quit, then yeah, maybe you should quit, but like full of sobriety. But anyways, when it comes to caffeine, dude, I had this mindset where I was like, yeah, like I'm going through withdrawal, this is going to suck. Like everyone who's quitting was telling me the same fucking thing. This is going to suck, blah, 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 all this shit. And I realized afterwards, this is kind of bullshit. Like, there's a story I wrote about in the book I wrote about quitting caffeine. It's linked in the description if you want to grab it. It's free on Kindle. It's pretty cheap on ebook, and you'll quit pretty fucking easy with that. Shameless plug. But when it comes to that book, I wrote a story about your mind and making your mind work for you and not against you. There was a story about Jay Shetty. He's a podcaster, and he basically said, this is like kind of like the bullshit version of it, but he basically said that his wife is very into health and nutrition, and he is very into the mind, because he's literally trained as a monk. And he felt very, very good, but after a while, his wife kind of analyzed his habits, and she realized, oh, you're actually like a pretty unhealthy dude, like relative to what you could be. So she gave him some like lifestyle tips and diet tips and stuff, and he just like changed his health and like really improved his health, and he started to feel a bit better. But like he noticed, like he felt good before anyways, even though he had terrible health. And they later kind of realized that, oh, your mind was so strong that it kind of overcame the deficiencies in your health. And I think that was like a really big lesson for me when I was writing the book, and I put that in because I thought it was really, really relevant to caffeine. Everyone tells themselves, oh, I'm gonna feel so shitty, and so they do. It's like whatever you keep telling yourself, like your mind is so fucking powerful. Like your mind breaks before your body. So you tell yourself, oh, I'm going through caffeine withdrawal, this is so shitty. Or if you're running, you tell yourself, oh, this is so shit, I'm so tired. Like you're gonna feel tired. You're going through caffeine withdrawal, you're gonna feel it. Like it's like the story at the stadium. I always say this. There was a stadium story. These people, there was an announcement on the speaker. Oh, there's a food outbreak, food poisoning. We're pretty sure it's from the hot dog truck, so if you had any hot dogs, let us know. We'll, check you out. All of a sudden, people started like fainting and stuff, like getting severe food poisoning. They were getting rushed to the hospital, and they later concluded, like, oh yeah, the food poisoning was actually not from the hot dog truck. It was from like some business like that was very far away, like a few blocks down the road. That like all the people who had food poisoning symptoms never ate there. But their mind was so powerful, it conjured symptoms of food poisoning just from thinking that they had it, which is fucking wild. Like, the mind is so fucking powerful. And so, yeah, there may be some caffeine withdrawal. You might be asking yourself, when's it going to end? But the better thing to do is just tell yourself there's no withdrawal. There's no withdrawal, I'm okay, and just live your fucking life. Because that day you're waiting for this, like, happiness in the future. You're waiting for this fulfillment down the road. The future never comes. You got to learn to be content with where you are now, and be content and be taking positive action to improve your life. Because if you're constantly focusing on caffeine and how it's so terrible, you're never actually gonna live in the moment, and you're never actually going to make any real improvements because you're just focused on caffeine. You're wasting time. You're kind of hiding from your reality, really. And so my advice is to say there's no caffeine withdrawal, I'm all good. Even if there is, fuck it, who gives a shit? Make your mind work for you. Maybe you're someone who doesn't even really get affected by caffeine withdrawal, so don't convince yourself that there is. And that's just my opinion. And just focus on leveling up and improving your life. Level up in areas that actually matter. Focus on your fitness. I tell you, exercise, cardio is such a great mental boost. Like if you're going through withdrawal, go for a jog or a walk. Like go for a walk every day, 15, 30 minutes, or go for like a 10-minute jog. Dude, that alone will literally like change your life. No matter if you do nothing else, that I tell you, the cardio is crazy. It's such a good, it's such a nice high. We're these apes now. We're just inside on our phones all day. We're not getting sunlight. I'm here in Canada right now. It's literally fucking like, it gets dark at like 3 o'clock or like 4 o'clock. But so like we're not getting blue light. We're not out in the sunlight. We're not really doing much. We're just getting stimulated by our phones, but our bodies are not moving. So regardless of caffeine, we're gonna be fucking anxious like, to some degree, more than we should be. So get outside. Go for a run, go for a jog, go do it at the gym if you want. I don't walk around your house, just get some steps in and make your mind work for you, not against you. Do all this, and if you're just focusing on leveling up and getting to the next level and just forget about caffeine, you'll quit. Because that's the point you want to get to. You want to get to a point where you are off caffeine and you're to the point where if you even drink it, you literally don't care. You don't need it and you don't not need it. You're just like indifferent to it. Like, you don't even know those people who are just constantly talking about caffeine. I guess I am now, but like I always say this, but I'm making videos, I'm kind of promoting a book and giving some information, so it's kind of different. For me, this is my leveling up, so I don't know. That's what I think. Just let go of it all. Have a positive mindset and just live for today, because the future ain't coming. The future you want is not coming. You gotta learn to be happy along the way, and yeah. You found that helpful? Leave a comment below and let me know where you're at in your journey. Got any questions? I can definitely answer them, or you can read my book. It's cheap as hell and it will make quitting caffeine effortless so you can actually get back to your fucking life, which is what we all want. So yeah. Anyways, see you in the next one, boys.